What is your number one tip for successfully scaling a medical practice? That's what the show is about, after all.
Yeah, I mean, this is in my mind, a fairly easy one to answer.
Hmm.
It has to do with obviously my show is the Better Outcomes Show. I'm all about humanizing healthcare. I think one of the biggest mistakes, even that people make when they're trying to grow a healthcare practice, is they've got the systems, they want to implement the systems, the technology, the whatever the process of care is to deliver, care at volume or care at scale, and they spend a lot of time focusing on the processes and the systems and the scaling itself, and less time worrying about like the people that are delivering the care. So in my mind, the number one tip is really to focus on the people that are delivering the care in your clinic or your practice, and also the people receiving care. And that means that you're going to spend a lot of time, if you do that, focusing on kind of those soft skills, but the building the culture, putting the right team in place. That whole idea of like getting the right people on the bus and then figuring out where they go later, but really focusing on the culture and the team you're building, because that team is going to be the foundation for any kind of scaling that you end up doing or deciding, to engage in this area or expand into this, process or service or whatever. It all starts with the team. So focusing on the team would be the number one tip.
I love that. I love that. And I think a lot of people in leadership roles in general, not just running medical practices, but I'm head of marketing at Talkie AI. I have my own team. This is on my mind too, right? Taking good care of my people. So I wanted to ask you, within this realm of taking care of your people, what have you seen as some tactics, strategies, tools, frameworks that have worked for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind, and I read this in a book one time, it's called Managing Right for the First Time by David C. Baker.
Hmm.
But he talks about in anything, healthcare included, people are often elevated or promoted because of technical expertise. Like I'm a good clinician, so I become a clinical director. I'm a good, whatever, and I get promoted up the chain. And that in and of itself is not a bad thing, but it means that as organizations, typically, we're not promoting people based off of the skill or the ability of people management. We're promoting based off of the technical expertise, because we think it translates. If you're a good physical therapist, you'll be good at managing physical therapists, and it is a totally different skill set. So one of the big strategies that I'd like to employ with clients that I do at the clinic that I own and operate is like, if we identified somebody that's going to be a maybe a potential long-term leader in the organization, we start very early on supplementing their professional development with those soft skills, those leadership skills. So it might be that you're sending them to courses about leadership development. It might be that you're just having conversations with them about it. It might be that you're having them read books about leadership and what it means to actually lead people and not be a technical expert. Because a lot of times, as you get higher in an organization, um, you might have been a technical expert at one point, but at this point, when you're leading, your role is no longer doing, it's really empowering your team to deliver the care, in this case, in healthcare, or to be those technical experts. And your job stops being, delivering and starts being enabling or empowering. So that's probably the biggest tip or strategy, is like start that from the beginning with people in your organization that you're looking at potentially elevating into management or leadership positions, for sure.
Yeah, I really feel that. And I feel, I almost feel like having what you're saying is you're calling this technical expertise, right? I almost feel like having strong technical expertise for some leaders who are inexperienced can be almost a detriment,
Yeah.
because the temptation to just take matters into your own hands and not properly delegate to your team, it's so much stronger when you know that I could do this myself so much faster, so much better. But that
Exactly.
doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't scale and doesn't grow people, right? So I do really feel that you need to take that into account. The way I've always found this works and heard about stories as well is, before somebody becomes a leader formally, like a team manager, there's opportunities for informal leadership as well. Lead a project, lead an initiative, be somebody's mentor, give somebody feedback. I don't know if you found this to be useful as well, but I feel like in terms of making it more gradual, that's one of the things that I found works.
Yeah. And in in reality, if you think about it, like At some point in time, if you've identified somebody that's a potential leader, by the time you end up promoting them or making them a manager, it really is it should be one of those things, or should feel like one of those things, like we're just officially putting a title onto what's already happening, right? Like this person has stepped up on their team. They are the people that their team members go to ask for advice or for guidance. And we're really just making it official by putting them in charge, right? They've been leading for a while, and now we're just making it official on the org chart.